Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband is Paul. We're so happy you have joined us today. Today's video, we're going to be sharing 7 easy, practical, almost essential tips to lower your spending. We hope it motivates you and we hope it encourages you. We're also super excited about this video because we have just hit 50,000 subscribers. Woo! We want to thank everyone who has been with us from the very beginning. You know who you are. We know who you are. Those of you who just subscribed last week, we're so happy to have you all. Thank you. You are so appreciated. But we'll talk more about that a little later. Let's get into these 7 tips on how to reduce your spending. The first one is, how about trying your hand at making your own pantry staples? Paul and I did some research. On average, an American family spends about, are you ready for this? $3,000 a year on convenience foods. Think of what you could do with $3,000. Paul and I went online and we found a wonderful, user-friendly site that shows you how to make pantry staples super easy, economical, and so much healthier. So let's take a look at this website. Taste of Home has graciously put on the World Wide Web 100 pantry staples you can make at home. And they give you recipes for everything. Basic homemade bread, white sauce, which is like a bechamel sauce, homemade potato chips, pancake mix in a jar. It goes on and on. What's so wonderful about this is these are items that you would traditionally pay money for someone else to make for you, and you would buy prepared in a store. Homemade taco mix, one of the easiest recipes. People continue to buy them pre-made in a package. Old-fashioned donuts, graham crackers. Are you seeing where I am going with this? Homemade pasta dough. And then what you do is you just go to the recipe. Here it is. And always read reviews, please. I tell you this all the time. These people who have come before you and tried these recipes really know what they're talking about. Just a great way to save yourself some money. Look at this. Homemade peanut butter cups. I could spend all day on a site like this. So I'm going to link it down below for you, and come on over and give it a look. And no, this is not sponsored in any way. It's just some really good money-saving information. Give that website a browse. I think you're going to come away with some great ideas. Number 2, please be aware of lifestyle creep and fad spending. Oh my gosh, lifestyle creep. It almost sounds creepy, right? What it is basically is your income goes up, or you pay off debt and you have some extra money. Instead of using it constructively, you start using it for non-essential items. Dining out, more clothing, more accessories, vacations. And these items that you spend money on before were considered a luxury or something that you rarely did. But now that you have the money, you're doing it more and more. You're spending on these non-essential purchases. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. But what you have to be careful of is that you are not using all that money that you are bringing in extra, or that your paid off debt is bringing in extra at the end of the month. You have to make sure that you're just not spending it every which way. Bank it. Put it in your emergency fund. Put it towards your retirement. Put it towards your mortgage. Now, I'm not saying every penny of it, but a good portion of it. It will just help you in the long run to live a calmer financial life. And also fad spending. We all know what that is. That's when you see something and you want it. Somebody else is wearing it. You see it on social media. You hear about it on your Instagram feed. Whatever it may be that's enticing you, put a hold on it, because that fad spending will take any extra income you may have, or worse yet, put you into debt for that fad spending. Number 3, have you driven past a Dunkin' Donuts lately or a Starbucks lately? Paul and I were out grocery shopping the other day and we passed a Starbucks. When I tell you that line was around the building, almost out to the road. Are you one of those cars in that line? Are you one of those that spend anywhere from like $5 to $10 a day on a hot or cold beverage that we're going to show you can make it home for pennies? Let us show you how we came up with this Starbucks type coffee drink. You don't need to go out and buy a cappuccino maker, nothing like that. Take a look and see what we came up with. For our fancy Starbucks inspired coffees, you're going to heat about 1/4 cup of milk on the stove until bubbles form around the edges. Because everything tastes better in a Mickey Mouse mug, we're going to pour the hot milk into the mug. All I'm doing is taking a metal whisk and I'm just taking it in between my palms, just giving it a good whisk. If you can get somebody to hold the cup for you while you're doing it, great. If not, just be careful when you do it. You don't want to spill it. This is all I did for about 30 seconds. Just have some basic hot black coffee that Paul made this morning. You're going to pour it along the side if you're able. Look at this foam. Come on. Really? This works. Now we're going to sweeten it with a little maple syrup, but you can sweeten it with whatever you want. Just a drop of maple syrup in there. And then how about a sprinkle of cinnamon? And now, if you're super creative, you could make a design. Paul and I are both like, we don't know how to do that. But anyway, if you were creative. But now I'm just going to show you. Look at this foam on top. Do you see this? I mean, we just created this with a whisk and items that we had in the home. There is no reason for you to have to run through and pay $6. Save yourself some hard-earned cash and make items like this at home. They will taste just as good. You don't need a fancy coffee pot. You don't need fancy appliances. Hey, a good old-fashioned whisk. Look at that foam. I'm pretty proud of myself. I don't like coffee, you know that. Once in a while, I will have an iced coffee. That was delicious. And what about the foam? I created foam with a whisk. So simple, so delicious, and just food for thought. Do you know that a coffee at Starbucks is marked up 80%? You are paying 80% more for that cup of coffee at Starbucks than it actually costs. Number 4, how about taking ordinary items and upgrading them? And how about taking summer's bountiful herbs that are in season now that I know so many of you grow and preparing them for winter time? So we're going to turn the camera around. We're going to show you how to trim your basil, and we're going to show you a new way that we're preserving our basil for the winter, and you can do this with so many different herbs. We're also going to make a wonderful gourmet stovetop crouton recipe. Oh, so good. Let's get into the kitchen. Homemade croutons are one of our absolute favorite treats. We have got a little piece of homemade sourdough bread left. And I don't know if you have ever tasted sourdough croutons, but they are out of this world. The best part of these croutons, you don't have to heat up your oven. You make them right on the stovetop. Look at this beautiful bread. What Paul's doing now, he is just cutting them into about 1-inch cubes. So I have about a half a tablespoon of butter melted in this pan and about a tablespoon of olive oil. And now we're going to take our bread cubes. Listen to that sizzle already. These are going to be so good. And we're just going to keep an eye on them. I would turn them every minute or so and just keep turning them. Let them get brown all the way around. Just going to keep flipping them. If you need to add a little more butter, if they're absorbing it, or a little more olive oil, go right ahead. Now it's the fun part. We get to be creative. I'm going to put a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, and if you see it's getting too hot, just bring your temperature down to low. Some pepper, a little sprinkle of salt. Oh, these are going to be so good. You're always going to want to use bread that is semi-stale when you do this. Now, when I say stale, I do not mean moldy. I mean it's getting a little dried out maybe. You forgot about it in the back of your fridge. And these are actually pretty big pieces. You could definitely have made them smaller, whatever you prefer. But what a great way to perk up a summer salad. Look at these. So I'm just going to let them cook for a few more minutes. We took a wire cooling rack and put it over my silicone mat on my counter, just not to waste tin foil and keep the counter clean. These look wonderful. You're going to cook them until you are satisfied with their appearance and their crispiness. Now, when they come out, they are extremely hot because of the olive oil and the butter. So let them cool on a wire rack, and this will also allow the air to circulate. These are not only great on salads, but on soups and stews, or honestly, eaten right out of your hand. They are so delicious. What a great way to take a little piece of bread and just elevate it to a whole new deliciousness. On to preserving basil to reduce spending. When you trim your basil, you're going to go right where the leaves are coming out on each side. Give it a trim. We're going to do the same exact thing right here. And what this does is keep the basil from flowering, and it keeps it nice and bushy. As soon as I bring the cut leaves into the house, I put them right into a glass of water. You want to keep them nice and fresh and hydrated while you're working with them. So I'm going to take off the leaves from the stems first. I'm working with clean kitchen scissors. And what you do is right at the base of the leaf, leave just a little bit of stem, just a little bit. It's going to look exactly like this. You don't need that big fat stem, but you don't want to cut into the leaf either because the leaf is where all the flavor is. And I'm going to do that with each one. Discard any leaves that look like they have been chewed on by anything. Just wash the leaves gently. We don't use pesticides, so that's a good thing, but you want to make sure there's no little bugs on them or anything like that. Then I'm just going to take the towel that I laid them out in, and I'm just going to roll it with the leaves in gently. We want to dry these. We're just going to let these sit for a minute.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a couple of these leaves, 4, 5, 6 of them. I'm just going to stack them up like this. I'm gently going to roll these leaves together into a little bunch. And now carefully with my knife, I'm just going to cut small strips.
And here you have these wonderful little strips of flavor. We are going to utilize just your average ice cube tray. So we're going to show you two ways. You can put them in shredded, like we just showed you. Paul did the beautiful job here. Or you can take your leaf, take it, put it in just like that. So we're going to fill up this tray to start. Once we have that tray full, we're going to take some beautiful, good quality olive oil. And we're going to go in and we are going to cover that herb just like that. And all I did after we put the oil in, you just want to make sure it's submersed. Now, another way you can do this is you can take olive oil and basil and put it in a food processor and make cubes that way. but this works fine. And I'm going to take these trays and put them in the freezer until they solidify. Here's one full tray, and we started taking them out of the other tray. It is so warm in the house that they're melting right away, so I'm not going to do this all on camera, but you can see how perfect they turned out. What I will do now is put them in a Ziploc bag, and they will go right back into the freezer. I will take out what we need when we need it. This is great for soups, stews, pasta sauces, whenever you need that little infusion of fresh basil and olive oil. So this is a great way to preserve your fresh basil for the winter. Both of those were a total win. Now, number 5, this is such a touchy subject because so many of you say you love this place, and so many of you say, I won't shop there. And I am talking about the Dollar Tree. We are fans of the Dollar Tree for certain items. Sometimes you can save a tremendous amount of money buying the exact same product at Dollar Tree instead of buying it on Amazon. And there are a lot of videos out there that will show you that. We went into Dollar Tree the other day, and I just want to show you some of the things that we think for $1.25 are a great bargain, and they are equivalent or the same exact product that you would buy marked higher at Dollar General or off of Amazon or Walmart. So come into Dollar Tree store with us real quick and look at these items we think are well worth the $1.25 price. Dollar Tree truly has some of the most affordable and beautiful seasonal decor items. The Hallmark Heartline cards are 2 for $1, and they have them for every occasion, everything you can think of. And also the Hallmark Expression cards, which are absolutely beautiful. Gift bags, and they have the really large ones for $1.25 right down the line. Storage containers for every possible scenario or situation. These work gloves are Paul approved. These are his absolute favorite ones. Picture frames. What amazing deals you can find. All different sizes. These gloves are Emmy approved. I always wear gloves to wash dishes with. I use these consistently. This is what Paul uses on the bottom of our Swiffers. He uses that and just puts it in the wash when he's done. Now, again, this is our opinion, and not everything in that store I would buy. Honestly, some of it is not made well, and just be cautious. You know, you're educated consumers. You know what you're looking for. But there are some really good deals there if you look and explore a little bit. Number 6, we're going to talk about the word improvise. And I looked up what the word improvise means, and this is it exactly. To produce or make something from whatever is available. How much do we love to improvise? And I'm just going to give you a couple examples of how we do improvise. Look at this little bear. This bear held honey. We now use it to hold our dish soap. It's much cuter. We don't have the big giant bottle of soap on the sink anymore, and it just looks nicer. This is a bar of Coast soap that we bought in the Dollar Tree. They were 2 for $1.25. Fresh in our closet, all we did is took that bar of Coast soap, cut it in half, and put it in a mesh bag and hung it in our closet. Our closet now smells so fresh and clean. Look at these butter wrappers. We save all our butter wrappers in the butter compartment of the refrigerator. What do we do with them? We use them to grease pans. Every time I need to grease a pan, I pull a butter wrapper out from the bottom, grease my pan with it, and then it goes into the garbage. There is so much butter left on those wrappers before you throw them out. Here are Dollar Tree frames with some lovely calendar pictures in them that make a beautiful collage over my work area. What improvising is using what you already have to meet a need you may have. And how do we love as frugal people to improvise? So start getting creative. I love that idea. And finally, number 7. Never ever say no to something that is free, that someone is offering, if you can use it and if you want it. Now, don't take something for free from somebody if it's not something you're going to use or it doesn't look like it's really worth what they're telling you can use it for. You know what I'm saying. Again, use good judgment. So along those lines, Paul and I would like to offer 2 very special winners some free gift cards. Woo! We have 2 $25 gift cards for 2 winners, 1 for each. That is in celebration of our 50,000 subscriber count we just reached. You all mean the world to us, and this is just our way of giving back a little. So here are the rules. Unfortunately, you must reside in the United States. We ran into trouble last time shipping something. Where did it go, Paul? To Norway?
I believe so, yeah, Norway.
Norway. It cost us $30 extra to ship it to Norway, and then the wonderful subscriber had to pay another $20. There seems to be duties on everything now, and I'd have to claim it as a gift card, and I would have to pay extra and you would have to pay extra. And I don't even mind I have to pay extra or we have to pay extra. It's not free if you have to pay the $25 that the card costs. That's just silly. So, and it wasn't that subscriber's fault. We had no idea this was going on as high as it was going. So we have to limit this to the continental United States. I'm so sorry. You must be subscribed to our channel. And yes, we know if you are. You must be over 18. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary. And YouTube is not sponsoring this video in any way. All you need to do to enter in is in the comments section below, leave the 3 words, Frugal Money Saver. There is no S on the end of saver. It's Frugal Money Saver. So leave that somewhere in a comment down below. They are Visa gift cards, so anywhere Visa is accepted, you can use them. We will be picking the winners July 14th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, the year 2023, and then we will announce them in our video at 2 p.m. on Friday the 14th. So come on in, enter. Hey, it's free. It's $25. You could be the winner. If you are on our live chat with us today, you can't leave it in the live chat because that disappears. You have to enter Frugal Money Saver in the comments section down below. Today's question of the day. How long have you been watching Paul and I? And also, if you want to share, where are you from? What country are you from? What state? What province in Canada? Please let us know. It just is such an encouragement to us. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We ask if you would please give this a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. If you want to enter the contest, you have to be a subscriber. We thank you so much for helping us reach that 50,000 subscriber mark. Wow, who would have thought, right? Thank you again. We ask you to be safe. We ask you to be well. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.